早上好. That's about all you're gonna have in Chinese from me this morning. Before I get started, I would like to thank Simba Event, welcome all the participants for inviting Mengniu to be a keynote speaker today. Before I get started, the topic of my speech today is about transformation. And I have personally experienced a massive transformation since I joined Mengniu in September 2015. Imagine that for the last 20 years, I was trying to sell product to Mengniu. A tiny little product that makes a big difference, which is a flavor that is usually used at 0.1% in the product. And I moved from 0.1% to owning 100% of the product. I moved from a very Swiss conservative company into one of the most vibrant, aggressive, entrepreneurial-led Chinese enterprise in the food and beverage market. So, let me share with you the topic of the day. I'll walk you through an overview of Mengniu, not to sell you Mengniu, but to talk about what this company has achieved in the past, so we better understand what is the transformation required to go to our new vision. Then I will elaborate on why Mengniu is going to focus on nutrition and health, and I will share, to some extent, some of the very disruptive projects that we're working to invent a different future, empowered by the goodness of milk. Everything started back 17 years ago, in this tiny little house in the middle of Ruhr in Inner Mongolia. In a 53 square meter apartment where the founder Liu Cheng had that vision to create a massive dairy company to meet the daily nutrition requirement of millions of Chinese people. This company has achieved something that no other company has ever achieved in the food and beverage industry. In 17 years, or in 16 years to be more precise, this company has grown from 0 to 50 billion RMB. 50 billion RMB, with a massive capitalization on the Hong Kong stock market. This is remarkable. Then came 2015. Until 2015 was a very, very different year. It was a shock. It was the first time that this company, flying and propelled by a massive tailwind, had no more growth. We've seen this morning from Stephen's presentation that a lot of the elements that had propelled the growth of those companies, enhanced distribution, was clearly a huge driver. As Stephen said, when you usually start hitting this plateau and you're no longer growing, you start moving into line extension. Stephen also said that it took China about 20 years to achieve what other economy has achieved in 200 years. Hence the dog years, 1 = 7. Again here, Mengniu is moving a little bit different. Instead of trying to flood the market with line extension, we're starting to actually cut references. We're cutting a massive number of SKUs in order to rebuild stronger foundation. In 17 years, the company has built a unique national footprint, combining the power of our milk sourcing, which spread from northern Heilongjiang all the way on the green belt of China, following Inner Mongolia and Xinjiang. We've built an amazing network of factories to make sure that the freshness of our product is as good as possible and to meet the consumer needs every day. Our core business is focused on 4 key categories. First, what we call ambient product. Ambient product are first and foremost our white milk, the Mengniu core brand. Then we have our premium milk with Tolensu, and we have a flying category with ambient yogurt called Chunjen. We're also broadening the white milk category to meet increasingly complex consumer needs to target aging or different consumer specificities. We have a chilled category. In the chilled category, we have yogurt and we have yogurt drink. We have a milk beverage category delivering great taste and indulgence, and we have ice cream. This is Mengniu core. In addition to that, we are also in the infant milk formula business with Yashili, and we are in plant protein beverages with our partner White Wave. The brand value of Mengniu is holding strong. In spite of the suboptimal performance in 2015, our brand value remains strong, and we rank amongst the top 20th brand in China. Mengniu is also a very innovative company. And as a matter of fact, earlier this year, we won a very prestigious award called the Design Award 2016 for our ability to bring very different kind of emotion conveyed through packaging. We have launched this brand called iMilk, and iMilk is a very creative business model. It's e-commerce, entirely e-commerce, where you can buy a card and you can gift your friend with super high quality milk. You can also, as a company, decide to tailor packages for your customer, and all that is happening through our online platforms. So in spite of a little bit of a slowdown, the energy from an innovation standpoint inside the company is unbelievable. We're not losing sight from the fact that we are in the dairy business. And the dairy business in China is a young business. The dairy industry has only been established about 20 years ago. And today, we provide more nutrition to more families. We're touching on a daily basis about 70 million consumers, and out of which 3.6 million students in colleges and universities are drinking our students' milk. We're also gradually establishing little export business. Our brand is very present and very visible in most of the convenience stores in Hong Kong with different brands. So, what makes Mengniu different from our largest competitor, Ili? This is the difference. Mengniu is combining the power of a Chinese company with the power of brilliant partner. Our #1 shareholder is COFCO. As you know, COFCO is a state-owned company, very powerful in China. And we benefit from the infrastructure of COFCO in many different areas. Our second largest shareholder is Danone. Danone is the largest company in fresh dairy globally. And we are in joint venture with Danone to bring the best possible nutrition density and technology in our product via the combination of the strengths of Mengniu and the strengths of Danone. And our third largest shareholder is also a very important partner. I'm talking about our Scandinavian friend from Arla. Arla joined as a shareholder to Mengniu back in 2007, and since a lot of things has happened, we'll develop a little bit more of the collaboration area that we have established with Jesper in our panel talk a little later on. But this really makes a difference, and that really represents probably one of the best possible models in China, where you keep the strengths of the Chinese execution power, the resilience, the energy to really get stuff done very quickly. At the same time, we leverage the systematic way of doing things, which is empowered by our international shareholders. We're enhancing our credibility with global partnership. In 2015, Mengniu was awarded as the exclusive partner of the Disney Resort, which is about to open in Shanghai soon. And we're going to provide all the dairy-based product from Mengniu in the park. That's going to give us a phenomenal boost in enhancing our credibility. At the same time, we are a dairy company. Dairy has some incredible magic to empower health of consumer, and to further activate that, we are a very long-standing partner with the NBA in China. When you watch the NBA playoff right now happening on air, you can see that in the middle of the court, you see the big Mengniu site, and we have about 300 million followers watching NBA games and that are seeing Mengniu on all the games. Let me move now to the vision. In 2015, Mengniu has made a big, bold strategic decision. The big, bold strategic decision is to become a consumer-focused, innovation-led health and nutrition company. So let me elaborate what it really means. The vision is about, first and foremost, focusing on consumer adoption. We need to make sure that each and every product that we're having out there on the market are relentlessly validated and co-created with our consumers. Those products need to deliver significant benefit from a health and nutrition standpoint. To do that, we need to empower those products via science and technology. When you compare the R&D organization of a group like Danone, that has globally about 1,500 to 2,000 people doing nothing else than doing research and development, it's fair to say that a company like Mengniu is not at the same level. However, because we have those international partners and all the technologies accessed from our partner, we can make very rapid progress. At the same time, we are making a shift to tap into the world's best capabilities in management and in R&D and innovation. And what we really want to achieve is not about reinventing something that has been seen already. It's about really taking the lead in bringing an innovation to China. And to picture that, we're not looking at inventing a portable phone, but we're really looking at developing the next generation smartphone that will be used by as many people as possible. And as I said, we cannot move from where we are to that vision in 2 weeks. It's a transformation. And the journey in which we are is probably a 5 to 10 years journey. So the next question would be, then, why are we focusing on health and nutrition? let me give you some facts. Today, in urban China, we have a big issue. Over 50% of the people have a body mass index over 25 or over 35. So which means they are either overweight or obese. This is the result of the 70s, 60s generation, people that have completely sacrificed their quality of life to build the wealth of China and to build their career. That has a health cost. The consequence of that, if we are not contributing to change that trend, are dramatic for China. The cost to cure diabetes type 2, cardiovascular disease, will be very high. At the same time, we're living in an economy that is not growing as fast as it used to grow. So therefore, there will be a key question in terms of who pays for the bill. So we want to be part of the solution. And also what we anticipate, because we're in China, is that we have a very powerful government. And unlike in other countries, the government can overnight step in and impose dramatic regulation to start managing the risk. And I think that we're not that far from the day where we're going to start seeing regulation around salt content in food or sugar content in food. When you look at the beverage area, comparing China with other international markets, it's very clear that China has BRICS level which are too high. This is also one of the reasons why we are focusing now on health and nutrition. As I said, we want really to be part of the solution. And another very key observation that we have made is that the good old model to build a business in China is dead. You could have a very solid product, one brand fits all needs, and this is gone. This is gone. We are living in a different context, in a different China, where we see that the affluent consumer do not have any relevant choice for them today. The impact is that they're going online and they're sourcing product from the US, from Japan, from Taiwan, or from Europe. What are we going to do to address those consumer needs? At the same time, we see that there are still a lot of people on the other end of the spectrum which are not fully satisfied with what we offer today. So we've started a journey to look at our segmentation very, very diligently. Started from babies, to kids, to young adults, to senior, to aging. The aging opportunity in China, as we've seen from some of the numbers that were shared with us this morning, is massive. We're talking about 300 million consumers that are going to need very different solutions to improve their quality of life and to live not only longer, but better. As you know, milk is something unique in the food and beverage industry. Milk has 23 core nutrients that are empowering life of humans. So we are going to leverage the milk resource to deliver solution, relevant solution to all these consumers by doing milk, by diluting our milk or extracting components of milk and adding back that in different formats, or concentrating the density of milk to address different kind of needs. To deliver that vision, we have opted for a very different approach as well. Our approach is open innovation. And again, here, it's not that every partner are equal. In open innovation, you need to be extremely clear about who do you want to talk for what. And first and foremost, we have our strategic partners. And our strategic partners are COFCO, Danone, Arla, and WhiteWave. And you might think that having Danone and Arla can be conflictual. It's not at all. Because we have segmented very clearly the areas where each partner can win with us to make a difference in the market. We're extremely focused on all fresh product with Danone, all the rest with Arla. On protein vegetable drink, no doubt, we're working with WhiteWave, the leading player in plant-based vegetable drink worldwide. We're also raising and stepping up the game in our innovation and scientific foundation by putting together probably the best teams that we can think of to empower our vision. We have signed a very strategic collaboration in September last year with the University of California, Davis, and in particular with the Food for Health Institute, led by Professor Bruce Germer. We're also complementing the science and the know-how that we are building with UC Davis with a more Chinese relevant partner, and that's Beijing Dashi. And also, we're working for the health of our cows with Improved Feed with Zhejiang University. We have also a very large and very dense supply network. And here, we're really very clear about who are the best in which category. This is not an exhaustive list, but it's very important that we are very selective because we cannot entertain hundreds of contacts every day. Let's look at the future. The future is about deceleration, digitalization, diversity of consumer needs, and there is something great for us coming up, the dual child policy. Those are challenges and opportunities. Our CEO, Sun Yiping, has built a beautiful strategy based on digitalization and internationalization to capture, to mitigate the risk, and to maximize the opportunities. Another very interesting point that I would like to share with you is that in time of crisis, the greatest danger of the turbulence is not the turbulence itself, but it's to act with yesterday logic. So if you think that you have entertained discussion with Mengniu in a certain way in the past, don't assume it's the way that you're going to have the discussion in the future. And we are driving that transformation internally. Our world is changing, and the food market is changing to a knowledge-based, consumer-centric diet and health system. And this is driven by three key things. First, the science has never moved as fast as it does currently. All this digital revolution is bringing great empowerment to start building a very different food industry. And there is another very important changes that is happening in China with the generation change of the consumer. It's the aspiration to well-being. Let me give you one very specific example. I love running. Did you know that in 2015, China has organized the largest number of marathons in any country in the world? There was over 43 marathons organized in China, most of which were nearly overbooked. Certainly for Beijing Marathon and Shanghai Marathon. Nike is opening in Shanghai women-dedicated sport apparel shops. There is only another place in the world where this is happening. And this is America's West Coast, San Francisco. Those are very, very strong signals that we need to integrate. So how are we going to integrate all that? First, we're anticipating a very cutting-edge future. First step is that we're building a detailed understanding of complex processes and precision measurement. we are decoding how the human is metabolizing food and how this food is empowering biological functions. Number two, we are starting to build the map of each and every food component to understand how these best interact with the human microbiome. And number three, we're leveraging algorithm power to put the whole things together. So this is where we're going. One of our big futuristic projects is about building Google Map of nutrition. We want to really bring a different value proposition. Think about it 2 minutes. What is Google Map doing for you? When you're lost, you can find out where you are, you can define where you want to go, and Google Map will tell you how to get there with great aside information where you can understand where you can stop on for a very good coffee along the way. We want to do for the same for food. And the value proposition that we believe in is, what is my health status now? What would I like it to be? And how do I get there? To start this journey, we're focusing on winning babies. Why winning babies? Because it's a very good consumer segment to control. Because they are mostly fed by their parents or their grandparents. So we're building an ecosystem based on measurement devices to control the health physiological data of the baby. Then we are looking at building the right precision diet to empower the life of those winning babies, to restore some dysfunction that they may have in their microbiome, to ensure that they're going to have the optimal growth, cognitive development for their life. And at the same time, we're going to give an app in the hand of the parents and the grandparents. And for all of you that had kids or young kids, you're always guided by your parents or friends. You should do that, you should do this. But actually, where's the scientific proof? Here, we're going to put the whole things together and we're going to be able to reassure parents. We have started our research program in collaboration with UC Davis. And basically, the key question that we're trying to answer is, what is the composition of the Chinese winning babies' microbiome? Which glycans found in bovine milk will optimally drive their microflora? And how do we develop a milk-based diet empowering Chinese babies towards optimum growth, cognitive development, and immunity? The research program is designed towards surveillance and measurement. And basically, we're going to integrate all those very complex elements into a solution that will actually truly be fact-based, scientific-based, and that you can actually validate each and every day at each and every minute because you have the control system. So I hope that in this half an hour, I've been able to provide you with an understanding of where a Chinese company can invent potentially the future. Thank you very much.
你好，谢谢您的演讲。然后我是有一个问题，就是像蒙牛这种比较大型的企业，肯定比较注重创新研发，包括您刚才所说的，就是在研发的过程中要注重营养和健康，这也是现在消费者的一个大的趋势。我的问题就是在研发创新的过程中，当口味还有这个成本，还有它的整个的就是这两方面出现冲突的时候，那对，比如说举一个简单的例子，就是像我们公司做纯天然的甜味剂，那我们知道这种甜味剂相比原来的甜味剂来说，它有什么高热、低热，然后高甜这样的一些优势，但是它的成本肯定就会提上来。当这个你想让它的如果成本想降下来，口感就会有所下降。那我就想问一下皮埃尔，就是在口感、还有成本、还有对消费者的这种健康优势这3方面做出冲突的选择的时候，像蒙牛这样的企业会怎样的选择？
So as you have seen from our first speaker from BCG, Veronica, is that you need actually to succeed, you need to combine everything. And there is no sacrifice to be done. You need to find the right value proposition. I think there is massive opportunities to increase further value for the consumer and therefore to price that if you bring a significant enhanced value proposition. At the same time, there is no doubt that delivering responsible food, minimally labeled, as cheap as possible is very important as well. So we need to cover both spectrum. There is absolutely no sacrifice to be done.
I have a question. You are investing a lot of time and effort and energy in innovations and in nutrition. How you are going to protect the nutritional benefit on the long distribution to the customer? And this is related also to packaging. You're interested in packaging innovations as well? And in case you're interested in packaging innovation for protection, what you are expecting from the packaging industry to help you?
So it's a journey. So there is no way that we're going to start bringing those very futuristic solutions tomorrow. As we build them, we of course pack, and how we bring that to consumer is going to be a key consideration. We're not yet there because we're focused on building the scientific foundation, the business model, the device, to wrap the whole things together. Then we're going to do a very preliminary small trial. We have a wonderful e-commerce platform where we have a very low cost to fail because we launch e-commerce. And then we look at the response, and then we'll look and figure out a way to solve it. So I don't have a very clear guidance for you. You know that we have a very dense supplier network in packaging, and all can bring a great solution. Now, if you have something disruptive, for sure we want to hear about it.
Okay, thank you. We should talk.
One last question, okay?
Hello. Also related to packaging, very short question. In milk, especially carton is the preferred packaging at the moment here in China. How do you see the market trend on milk, but also on dairy products in terms of PET? Because in other areas, PET is already very well established. Here in China, it's not. How do you see the PET trend in milk and in dairy here in China?
So, very clearly what we see is that we see the same data as you do from Intel, from a lot of different other sources. We see a shift of PET coming. I don't believe that PET is the solution for everything. I think we really need to understand what drives the moment. It's all about the moment. And there are some occasions where indeed PET is a much more relevant choice than a carton. I don't see that the carton is going to disappear anytime soon in China. That's still what guarantees the best safety of our product over the shelf. I think there is very clearly what we're going to start seeing is that the dairy, which is a very boring, established white milk in a carton, is going to see an amazing transformation in the next 3 to 5 years.